Brian Pierce, Zeofill. So, do you guys know what Zeofill is? What is the composition?
Lava stone?
Lava stone. It's actually not a lava, it's actually volcanic ash.
Okay.
When a volcano erupts, the ash is in the air. Most times it rolls down the mountain, sometimes it drifts off, but it depends on where that ash lands. And if the ash lands on a mountaintop that has like chromium, magnesium, lead, it has different elements that will cause issues with that comes in and has particles into the actual product itself. Ours actually, when the volcanic ash blew up, it actually landed in purified water. Our mine itself is not on a mountain. It's actually on just below the mountain, and it was underwater millions of years ago in the Mojave Desert. There's a difference between when you have an ash that lands on the mountain that has even silica sets. Those metals will actually harmful because they're, even though you see the zeolite here that shows it has angular, this product actually does not cut the turf fibers. Now those other products from other mines with those magnesium and all, will cut the turf fibers. And people don't realize that. They think that zeolite is all the same. Zeolite is not all the same. Every one of us, or product of it, has its own DNA. I got a sample of it right here. Different zeolites from around our area. Actually, this one about here is made of granite. Actually, it's landed on granite, and it's mixed in with different elements. It kind of gives you an idea of what the zeolite has. There's other ones here that you can actually see the specs. This is actually my competition. They actually specs in here. That's actually lead. It also has the crystalline silica. And in the state of California, the Prop 65 states that if you have anything that has crystalline in it, it's a toxic. It can cause birth defects or cancer. And the company here, they claim that they have that they're Prop 65 safe, but anything it doesn't matter. 0.05, 0.10, doesn't matter. It has crystalline in it. Ours, which is here, you can see it's pretty pure ash, does not have whatsoever anything with crystalline silica.
This is us here.
Okay.
The white in the sand, both of these cases, which one's in New Mexico, the other one's in Texas, the white is actually made from calcium from seashells. And if you guys know what calcium does to artificial grass, especially if you have hard water, it turns the grass white. That's actually a product from New Zealand. I wanted to show you how many different elements that are in this. Almost has every one of them I had mentioned.
It's also a zeolite, and that's what you mentioned earlier. Those are all zeolites.
Zeolite is volcanic ash.
Right.
Now there's different types of zeolites out there. It depends on the heat of the ash. It depends on lightning that comes through it. There's different stages of zeolite. Ours is the purest, and it's also the safest in the world. Because it has none of those other elements in it does have very little clay, because that was what was on the bottom of that the purified water at the time. So when it came down at its purest level. Zeolite is a negative charge. It's not just a product that's there. Okay, it's drawing into itself. It's never given out. It's holding water for long periods of time. It's an absorb and an adsorb, which means slow release. And so what it's doing, when a dog urinates on the turf, what you want to do is you want to encapsulate that urine before it goes under the turf. The Zeofill does twofold. It not only holds that urine, and a lot of people say, well, you don't want that urine to be held because now you have bacteria in it. True, but you're going to have bacteria, whatever it's going to be on the bottom of the turf too. And when you have bacteria in the bottom of that turf, and once it starts getting hotter and hotter, the hotter it gets under there, the more the bacteria grows. You want to prevent that urine to go on the back. What I tell the distributors, you have to use the right amount of product. We got really good science to it. But if a landscaper or somebody you know, I'm going to say the word cheap, they're only going to use half of what we recommend because the bags are expensive. The problem with that is you want to encapsulate all that urine. And if that urine is you know, you don't have enough product in here and that urine goes under the grass, therefore you have bacteria that's going to grow. And all your smell is underneath the grass. It's not on top of the grass. So once that urine's behind here, now gases. Once that gas starts rising, and this is where you smell the gas because it's rising from the bottom of the turf up. Zeofill, because it draws in gases to itself, it's twofold. It holds it, and when that gas comes up, it's going to grab a hold of that gas. So it's helping twice. Other products that are out there, polycoated silica sands, yeah, they have a microbrichromio, or was it the
microban?
The microban. Okay, it does kill off. So if a dog pees, guarantee, think about it, not all of it's going to be killed. The majority of it will go and end up on behind. So if you have, let's say, the green colored coated silica sand on top, and the gases rise, it's going to keep going up. Those other product doesn't do the secondary that Zeofill does. That's why Zeofill has always been known as the better product to use for dogs. Now, there's other people that, that said that, oh, you can use both. Yeah, I understand. You can put the Zeolite underneath the grass. That will do some, but it's not. You still want to have it on top. Ideally, you want to encapsulate that before that urine goes to the bottom. That's the main thing. So, and you want to have the right amount. If you have, let's say, this is where earlier when you were saying that the thicker grass, it's not really good for dogs. It's actually the best thing for dogs because you can put a lot of infill, Zeofill. Zeofill is double of sand, so the bulk density is double. So meaning the weight of a silica sand versus the weight of zeolite is half. So you do have to put, if you're putting 2 pounds per square foot, you're still putting 2 pounds, but zeolite is going to be a 1/4 inch. Whereas 2 pounds of silica sand is going to be a lot less. So you're still putting 2 pounds, and people don't understand that. They think they have to add something else like a copper slag, which I don't believe they need to. If anything, add more. If you know that the customer has more dogs or larger dogs, by all means, you can get paid. You can actually make more money by adding more product and letting the customer know that, hey, if this thicker turf, I could put 4 pounds in there, charge your customer. They're going to know that it's going to be the best thing because most likely they went to our website before they went to your website because that's what we do. Not only do we sell you the product, we actually bring customers to you, and you guys have already seen that already with just a short amount of time. If I'm going to give you the advertising, there's money involved in that. I can't sell you to as cheap as the next guy over here that's putting it in. Getting to that point, here is a sample of the other product, the other guy's product. It has, you can see it's a little bit lighter. It doesn't absorb enough. What it does, it's actually made a little bit of calcium. You'll see that it'll break apart even easier. Also too, it will degenerate over time. We have a warranty, and our warranty will cover degeneration. If this product, and you put it, you can see it already has chalk. My product, let's do this. See that?
Still, as a zeolite product, it's still sold as zeolite?
What is happening is customers are calling these companies that are buying that stuff. Hey, do you sell zeolite or Zeofill? And the customer or the company is saying, yeah, we sell zeolite because Zeofill is a zeolite. But it's a different DNA zeolite. Not all the zeolites are the same. We're the only company that we have tested. I've used all these products when I had an artificial grass company. Ours has only been the only one that's worked and never degenerates. I had a grass company for 11 years. I know, when we used a similar product, it was really dusty. So we have to, what I decided to do with Zeofill was to make the granular a little bigger on the small side. So you have, when you say, let's say for instance, this is 1440. It's what it used to be. It looked like this. The 14 is the bigness, the bigger part. The 40 is the smaller. So now the smaller was too dusty. So I says, okay, I asked the processing plant, what would it do if we can take some of that dust out? They said, well, because you're taking the dust out, now that's byproduct. You have to pay a little bit more, so you're getting rid of that byproduct. So there's where the cost is. And the cost of the 50-pound bag is probably $2. That's your savings you're getting with that other company. So when I constantly combat these other companies, oh, they're $2 cheaper. Yeah, because they are selling 1440 that has a powder in it. So as soon as you're installing that, the powder's flying away. Okay? Zeofill has a 1430 mesh. And not only you're getting the 1430 with less dust, you're getting the advertising we give. And you know, also too, we give you brochures. We give you the brochures and we bring people to you. Plus we do seminars all over the world. We want to make sure that you're buying a product that's going to last, that your customers are going to be happy with, and you're never, most likely, never going to have callbacks. This is the problem that we have with the other company. The problem we have on our end is we get phone calls left and right. Says my company installed Zeofill and there's a smell. I said, well, unfortunately, you probably could have a smell. The reason why is zeolite holds the bacteria. If it light rain, this is a good thing you want to write down too. Light rain will release the magnetivity, the CEC, of the granule. Now, light rain, when it releases that magnetivity, okay, the rain actually absorbs in the granule, but what rises? The smell, the bacteria that rises. Okay, the customers are going to call you up and say, hey, my grass smells. It smells worse now because it's raining. That's because the granule released that bacteria, the ammonia, and now you smell it. Now the difference is heavy rain. Heavy rain is the best friend because it does the same thing. It releases that the granule magnetivity, but the heaviness of the rain actually forces that bacteria and that ammonia through the granule, through the turf, and into the base, which we all know the earth absorbs a lot of stuff. Okay, and if it's a heavy enough rain, it'll actually flush it out. Once that Zeofill dries, it's like brand new. It's like putting in brand new product.
So why not, for cleaning it, just heavily wet it down?
Problem is you can't clean it with regular hose water. Hose water is filtered. Doesn't have the sodium ion. That rain does. And unfortunately, because our product and any zeolites out there is basically from the earth, it's sodium based. So as that's going up, that's the negative, the positive charge to the product is sodium, and only rainwater. It only takes a little bit. So there's other instances. Someone actually asked me, "Can you use it for cat litter?" Sure, you can use it for cat litter. What I suggest for them to do is once you're done using the product, dump it out, clean it with salt water, let it dry, and dump more in. And then after that one, do that one, same thing, put the original one back in, still can use it for cat litter. You can actually use one bag of Zeofill for 6 months. Did the testing. Zeolite is like Swiss cheese. It's, no matter how small it is, it has holes, no matter what. And that's what's great about that is it's not a solid surface. Like concrete's solid. When the sun hits it, solid surface, it's hot. With zeolite, it's not. We actually can walk barefoot at 140 degrees at our pit because it's not a solid surface. That's why a large manufacturer had endorsed our company, and they're now installing many fields in the West Coast. Prop 65 is pretty much everything in California is cancerous. I mean, plastic, whatever the case may be. Anything that a company has to sell that has either silica in it or a plastic or something of that nature, technically you're supposed to have a Prop 65 label on it to state that it's not safe. It's really up to you. So let's say cigarettes, for instance, that's Prop 65. You'll see it on the side of that. Actually, technically, every grass product that you install that you use silica sand technically needs to have something on it that states Prop 65 safe. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. There is if you look up prop65.com, it's actually a lawyer that anybody can call up, and they will say, this company over here has grass in, and they don't have a Prop 65 label, and I walked on it, and I don't know if it's safe or not. That's an automatic $10,000 fine. Technically, you should have something in your contract that states Prop 65, and then as they sign it, it waives the rights. If you look at our bags right here, we got it here, Prop 65 safe. Ours is the only zeolite that's Prop 65 safe. Like it says, these other companies that come in with these other type of products, they cannot say they're Prop 65 safe. Now, it's not a loyalty, it's an honesty program when you say Prop 65 safe. Anybody can say that until they get the district attorney to come after them. And a good thing for me, we passed, the other company did not. Another thing too about our product is we're the OMRI, it's Organic Material Research Institute. There's another company that does have it because they sell to farm animals. The product can be used as a chicken feed, animal feed additives. You can use it as under plants. It could be oil absorbent. It's soil amendment, just many astronomical things. They use it to clean air. They use, as a matter of fact, South Point in Las Vegas, they use a similar system. To get rid of the smoke, that is. Okay. So anything that'll filter it. You can actually use this, if you put it in your sock and then put it under a waterfall, you'll never have algae in your bowl. You'll have it on the sock itself. And you can rinse it out with salt water and put it back in. It's just really interesting. Because ours is the safest zeolite in the world, and this is something that everybody says, Brian, you really need to have this on camera. This is Zeofill. It came out of the bags, correct?
Correct.
Say yes?
Yes.
Came right out of our bag,
Yep. Correct?
And this is regular water. Sure looks like it. So when you pour this, kind of looks like a scientific invention with all the smoke in there, but it's actually just dust. And what I do is this part here, when I first did this, the guy goes, no, don't do that, it's going to kill you. I've been doing this for, I don't know, how much, 15 years now? Cheers. So what this is doing to my body right now, it's coming in and it's drawing in positive and negative nutrients out of my body. So basically it's used as a detoxer. So what my body's gonna react to it saying, hey, there's a foreign object in here, and it's gonna want to get rid of it pretty quick. The cool thing about this is it actually works on hangovers. On a second note, it's taking any of that negative stuff that's in your body and it's drawing it into itself. Then your body recognizes it's a foreign object and you'll get rid of it either by urine or feces. So, but I like it. I love the taste. I don't drink the granules. I drink the dust that's off of it. It shows you that I actually believe in my product enough to drink it. We were, and I could probably say this, but I sell to all the Ewings all around the states. I was at one of their conference in Arizona, and the gentleman there, that purchasing agent, he says, Brian, all the thousands of products, you proved right then and there that your product was safe. Nobody has ever done that, and he signed right then and there. And to this day, they still buy from me. So it's amazing that people see this and they realize, hey, if the owner drinks it, it's got to be safe for my kids. And because they feed this stuff to chickens, makes their eggs harder. You don't hear about. You used to hear all the time about the animals like the cows, the methane gas, all the time. You don't hear it anymore. The reason why, they feed this to the cows. Every meat you guys eat has zeolite somewhere in their meat, because that's what it goes in one of their chambers, and it takes away the gases out of that chamber, and that's what makes the meat a little more fresher. So I don't get off track. Absorption rate. There's because ours was formed and made in purified water and not on a mountain or so. The difference between that is when it hit purified water, it did something to the zeolite and made like better. There's a scientific way of saying it. The only way I'm going to say it is like kind of better holes, better absorb. The CEC that draws in. It holds 80% of water per granule. So no matter what the granule is, it holds 80%. Most of my competitors only hold 55%. I told you about the specific DNA, but our product, and it's the purity rate of our product is 97++%. We have enough product, and we've tested it 40 feet down. We have over 40 acres of product. We're not going to run out anytime soon. We have enough to last us plenty of years. That was the main focus for a lot of larger companies. They wanted to know if we start advertising this stuff that they're not going to have run out. We have enough. We have enough product.
So where's the 40 acres?
It's in Death Valley. We actually we get it in the Mojave Desert. We truck it 22 miles across to the Nevada border, and we process it there. The reason why we process it there is because air quality, California's regulations, where we're at. We're supposed to have masks. Most of the time, our guys don't use masks when they're crushing this. There's times that we actually will have what the OSHA. It's not actually OSHA. It's called MSHA. That's the building and mining. They will actually come out unannounced, and they'll do an inspection on us, but they won't ding us on not having any mask on because the product's not going to kill them. Right. Even with all the dust that's going on and flying around, our zeolite has been tested through the state of California and through MSHA as being the safest. So we don't have to have the regulations on our masks. Now, there's other zeolites out there. I mean, you see some of them. There's more out there. There's one that's more of a gray color. It does a great magnetivity, but the problem is it has so much negative products in there. I mean, I thought to myself, since I know all the different mines, why not try to sell some of the other stuff? But I wanted to. I knew that other people would try to go and sell like they're doing now, that for cheaper. But I could not personally sell a product that was not going to work in the turf, and this is why I am so adamant about the Zeofill, is because I know it works, and you will not have no callbacks. The only callbacks you'll have is either because of the rain, the light rain, or they never did their maintenance using the enzyme. Now, getting into the enzyme, what it does is it has 250 billion parts per gallon of enzymes in it, and if you have any more enzymes, the live bugs are going to be on top of each other, and it's not going to do any good. So there's no reason to have any more. The reason we have become so successful with BioFresh, and mostly our P51 bottle, is because it's a live liquid. It's never been a powder. A lot of these companies, they'll get enzymes. They'll turn the enzymes into a powder. They'll ship it around the United States. And then what they do is they use distilled water to bring it back to life and then put them in bottles and then sell them off to it. That's the majority of the products out there. And the way to test that, whether it's a powder made from a powder to a liquid, is let it set, put it in a clear glass and let it set for a day or two. Then lift that clear glass up and look at the bottom, you'll see a discolored ring. Then you know it's made from a powder. The reason why I'm adamant about not using that with the Zeofill product is because it won't clean the inside of the granule. Can I get a granule? I like to show it. So the powders actually stick to the outside of the granule. We found this out because we started selling this another product, and it was not working to its full potential. So we had it third-party tested. You know, our third-party tester at the time was up in Canada. We sent it up there. They come back and he says the reason why it's not working is because it's cleaning the outside of the granule, but not the inside. He says you need a live liquid enzyme. Well, it just happened to be I was at an STC meeting, and a couple of guys were there, and they come up with this product, and they had showed it to me, and I says, well, I can't really use, you know, I'm trying to find a live liquid enzyme. They says ours is live. We've never turned it, it's never been into a powder. I wound up having it tested at the same lab and found out it worked. It went in there, cleaned the granule, and did even better because it had a fragrance of fresh cut grass, which was awesome. That's where the P51 come to life. Because it is a live bug inside, it's a good bacteria. You don't want to spray it on hot grass, because as soon as you spray it on hot grass, you're going to kill those first ones that are coming out. So what you want to do is you want to spray the grass with regular water first, just to cool the grass. Best time to do it is in the evening. So you spray this thing, you're spraying it just a nice motion, back and forth, and then just to get the enzymes in there, okay? Then after you spray the areas that you need, unhook the hose, and just, you know, sit in your lawn chair, drink a beer, whatever, just lightly keep the top of the grass wet. The reason why you do that is because those bugs, they're moving around. And if it's dry, they can't move. And if they can't eat anything, they die off. So you want to spray the top of the grass. Like I said earlier, technically there's no bad bacteria on top of the grass because the majority is underneath. It's true. But there is going to be some on top and some inside the granule. And because the granule will hold moisture, they'll actually eat the inside of the granule and work their way out. The cool thing with being in the evening time is because underneath of the grass is going to stay wet pretty much all night. So those bugs are going to eat all that's underneath there. And sometimes it takes a couple of days to do it. And if it doesn't do it in a couple of days, spray some more, because you might have more urine than what you're spraying on. And people don't realize that.
A lot of factors come into where people say, I use the PE51, but I'm still getting the smell. So again, one of the biggest questions in the sales when the customer walks in or you're out there with the customer is asking him, okay, wait a minute, you got a pet. How many pets and what type of diet? What type of food are they eating? Because there's so many, you know, I mean, we have a certain brand out there, non-disclosure on the brand, very high protein, and we found that it's hard to combat. The more protein, the more bacteria is going to be found, and obviously the PE51 is designed to really get rid of the bacteria.